Good morning, good morning, good morning. You are live with TST Radio. I'm your host, Marcus Johnson. Today I have with me my boy, Justin Smith. We're going to go and kick it off today. We're going to start with some news out of Miami. Freshman, they had a top, this guy, Sam Bruce, came into the season. He was listed as he was the high-rated recruit coming into this season. If you're a Miami fan and you keep up with their recruiting, you would know this guy has had a tough start to his collegiate career. It actually started in high school. This guy was kicked out where he withdrew from his first high school, when a picture surfaced on social media with him carrying a gun. He was posted a picture of Facebook with his friends holding guns and stuff like that. You know how these kids are these days. So he transferred from there. He finished his high school credits. He couldn't play the rest of his senior year because when you transfer, you have to sit out. I think a whole year, a whole season before you can come back and play. So he finished out his high school credits at Westlake Preps High School. So coming into college, Miami suspended him 3 games. His first 3 games he was suspended coming into his collegiate career. While he was suspended, the guy broke his leg. During the suspension, he broke his leg. So that set him back, playing basketball, pickup basketball. So that set him back. He still didn't get to play. So now the guy is finna get back on the field, and then he's dismissed for violating team rules. What?
Seems like this guy has a lot of bad luck on his side. And
he just,
it seems like he can't catch a break. I mean,
these kids have the perfect opportunity.
But yeah, I was just about to say the same thing. When you have a golden opportunity to showcase your talent to the world and be able to become a great in football and anything like that, you supposed to take this type of stuff seriously. You can't just...
You got to take advantage of it.
Yeah, you can't just lollygag going and play around with it because people are putting their time and effort into you to make you who you are. But, if you ain't got the mindset for it, you ain't going to do it.
But hopefully he can get into junior college, maybe, recover from this injury.
Yeah, he got to start from the ground up.
Maybe he can get back into junior college and maybe get back to a 4-year school and, do good and get into the draft, and maybe he'll learn from this. Moving on, Florida State senior safety Nate Andrews, they reported he will miss the rest of the season due to he has to have surgery on his pectoral muscle. He will undergo surgery. Florida State has took 2 big losses in their secondary this season.
This season.
Who was it? Derwin Jones was the first one. I think he got hurt. Was it the game after the Ole Miss game or the Ole Miss game? I can't remember, but he got hurt early in the season. Now Nate Andrews is gone. And, Florida State, they hadn't looked too good, really.
They need all the help they can get. They need.
Yeah, so that's really gonna hurt
keep
them.
their guys healthy. I mean,
that's really gonna hurt.
They can't
them.
afford to lose nobody else right now. They cannot afford to lose another player, not another star player or a key player.
Yeah, that's really gonna hurt them. That's gonna hurt them a lot because, like I said, Derwin Jones went out, and I think that played a big factor in them having a very tough start after he left. After he was injured, I think that defense it really suffered. Not saying they don't have other talent, but he is a big.
But he's a factor,
right?
In that secondary.
Yeah,
and with losing him like that hurts. That hurts Florida State.
Yeah. Moving on, Auburn. Head coach, his name Rick Lashley, something like that. I saw the press conference the other day. He said that he don't think Kerryon Johnson is going to be healthy enough to play in 2 weeks. You know, they got the bye week this week, and then I think they come back, and I think they play. I can't remember. Who they play? I think they play. They have one of those week games, and then they go into
They're going today
to the SEC stretch. I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. I'll pull it up in a minute. But yeah, they said Kerryon Johnson, he don't think he's gonna be healthy coming back into that stretch. You know.
So basically, saying they hoping they wear him down. They hoping to get your boy down for that game.
They need Kerryon Johnson. They need him, and that's really gonna hurt him if he can't come back. You know, Auburn is just now
starting to pick up.
You know, they just picking it up, and
they just graced the top 25 with their presence.
Right.
So
what at 20?
Congratulations to Auburn.
23.
I think 23. They're number 23. So I would congratulate Auburn on making it to the top 25. You know.
Yeah, they got about no. They come right back into the SEC stretch. They come back with Arkansas, and then they have they in Arkansas. No, they play at home. They play Arkansas at home. Then they got Ole Miss on the road. Then Vanderbilt at home. Georgia in Georgia. Then they go to Alabama A&M. Well, they got Alabama A&M at home. They host Alabama A&M. And then they have Alabama on the road. So, Arkansas might turn into a loss if Kerryon Johnson is not healthy. My opinion. So you know, that was one of the ones I thought, you know, I was saying that they would ease by. I said they would take, well, how many games did I lost this year? Two. Who they lost to Clemson, and they lost to...
They lost their first game, right?
Yeah, that was Clemson.
And not the next, yeah.
They lost Texas A&M. Clemson, Texas A&M. So I was like, I didn't think they was gonna lose to Texas A&M. So at the beginning of the season, I was like, Auburn would go, they would lose at least like 3 games. But now, I was like, they would lose to Clemson, Ole Miss, Alabama. Coming into the season, that's the 3 games I said they would lose. But you know, they lost to Clemson, Texas A&M. Now, Kerryon Johnson may not play against Arkansas. So they might lose Arkansas, Ole Miss, and Alabama. So is Gus out here?
You already know. You already know how I feel about the Gus buzz.
Kerryon Johnson is gonna
determine their season.
Right. I think that's gonna hurt them. That might put another lot. They might ease by now, you know, going from seeing Arkansas play against
Ain't no
Alabama
in the SEC. Ain't no easing by.
Alabama, Arkansas. I saw Arkansas. They couldn't stop. They really couldn't stop the run with us because, and that was one of our weaknesses coming into this game. Yeah, right. Was our rushing game. So with Kerryon Johnson, I don't think they will be able to stop Auburn from scoring the football with the way they're playing now. But not saying Petway is good, but who's coming after Petway?
They need a second man.
That's my thing. What you gonna bring? Well, they have that Martin kid, but he don't have the experience. You got Chandler Cox, but he's not he's more of a fullback.
I wouldn't do anything with Gus,
So I was like, this might hurt him. You know, what his name? Dang, that's sad. I don't even know his name. Sean White. Sean White, you know, he's just getting into that. You know, He getting into it. I'm seeing this team forming they're forming. They're gonna get farther than the Birmingham Bowl this year. You know what I'm saying? They got
not if they lose the rest of these games, they ain't getting nowhere.
You know, this team is forming, without that injury, but with this injury, I don't know, man.
We get ready to shit from the pullover.
I don't know.
And they just don't.
I don't know, man. That might hurt them. That really, 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 really might hurt them.
All I can say is pray for better days, and I hope everything works out for you. But they got to come with it.
Yeah,
somebody gonna have to step up. Somebody.
Yeah, but moving on, we're gonna jump into some high school football. Like I reported earlier back in
September.
I think it was like June when we did our first. Well, no, it was August. End of August, I think, when high school football started.
Mm-hmm.
We did our first video.
Yeah.
And I said I expected my Indians to do good things this year. So it's finally shown. We done hit the top 10.
We talking Indians have hit the top 10.
We have Opelika coming up this weekend on Friday. This week coming on Friday. I think we got a chance. Our defense, we give up too many big plays. Defense, we give up big plays. We got to find a way to stop somebody from scoring. Can't nobody outscore us. I don't think nobody can outscore, but if we can stop somebody from,
right.
We got to stop them from scoring. We can't. We ain't been able to stop a defense yet. Like the last game we played, came out, jumped up on them. I think it was 28-0.
Mm-hmm.
And then second half, they
broke down.
I know they said it was some bad officiating or whatnot, but 28-0, you got to maintain that game. Defense has got to play better than that. I've been at a couple of the games, and they get hit with big plays on defense. Some plays that shouldn't happen. Misreads by the line. Their linebackers are aggressive, but sometimes they,
too aggressive.
Yeah.
Over aggressive.
Like I said, I'm expecting them to do pretty good this year. I got the polls really didn't change from last week, high school, but I'm going to still give them to you. I got 7A, 6A, 5A. I'm going to give to you today, but if you want to see the rest of it, you got to go on social media to True Sports Talk on Twitter, or you can go to Facebook at True Sports Talk Radio, and you can see the whole list from 7A all the way down to 1A. I think high school football goes down to is 1A, and
1A.
I don't think it's lower than that. But here we go. 7A, we're going to start with 7A. At number 1, McGill Tulin. Number 2, Hoover. Number 3, Hewitt Trussville. Number 4, Central PC. Number 5, Davidson. Number 6, James Clemsons. At 7, Enterprise. 8, Lee Montgomery. 9, Spain Park. 10, Mountain Brook. Lee has had a pretty good season.
Yeah, Lee has really surprised me this year.
Yeah, that guy has Ruggs. He's been having a great season. I've been talking about him all season. So, he having a great season. All right, we're going to hit 6A. 6A, number 1, Blunt. Number 2, Hillcrest, Tuscaloosa. Number 3, Oxford. Number 4, Opelika. Number 5, Minor. Number 6, Spanish Fort. Number 7, Park Crossing. Number 8, Clay, Chalkville. Number 3. Number 9, Ramsey. And number 10, Wetumpka. 5A. Number 1, St. Paul's. Number 2, Scottsboro. Number 3, Ewietown, I guess how you say that. Number 4, Carroll. Number 5, Central Clay County. Number 6, Demopolis. Number 7, Beauregard. Number 8, Jackson. Number 9, Viger. Number 10, Mountaineer Jordan.
You know, that's Central Clay. That's down there in Clay County, so that's my hometown. So,
What, Central Clay County?
Yeah, shout out to Central Clay County. And I got my in the 5 area. I got my little cousin out there playing for Oxford. They number 3, Ty Lindsay.
Okay.
Yeah. So
yeah, I heard Oxford was pretty tough.
Yeah, Oxford pretty tough.
I think they who knocked off Opelika.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
they knocked off Opelika. Yeah.
He's the man out there right now. So shout out to Ty. We see you out here, baby.
What's his name?
Ty Lindsay.
Mm-hmm. Ty Lindsay. Okay, that's what's up. Jumping into some UFC. Anderson Silva reported the other day said he is upset with the UFC. He said he's upset with the way they've been treating him. Say, when Jones got suspended, got busted on the little
drug drug situation.
He'll supposed to fight Cormier for the belt. Anderson Silva stepped up, took the fight, at UFC 200. Silva said Dana White or Lorenzo Fertitta, I think that's his name, the owner of the UFC, the guy that just bought the UFC. Dana White, he's the UFC promoter.
Right.
He said he didn't even get a thank you. He said ever since he lost the belt, when he broke his leg, his value went down, man. His value went down, and I guess he's saying that he was the person that brought the MMA to this level that it is.
I mean,
he was, but you gotta. It's over.
I mean, that's Anderson Silva, man.
It is, but that's my boy. I'm a big Anderson Silva fan.
But I mean, you can't blame the man for wanting respect.
Yeah, I know.
Blame him for wanting respect.
But
I mean,
no, you can't come to
a lot of people cannot knock him out. So he's one of the top.
Yeah, but don't nobody know you. But don't nobody owe you nothing.
They ain't got to owe it. But if you demand a certain respect in the UFC, you demand that respect because you brought most of these ratings to the UFC.
I feel you, but it's over.
It ain't over for him. Didn't he win the last fight?
No.
It might be over.
Hey, Cormier beat him up. He said they didn't even call him and say thank you. So
so he mad because he lost and they ain't say nothing to him.
He said that they should
I understand what
call
you're saying,
him and say thank you for taking this fight. Say they owe him a thank you for taking that fight.
You lost, so you don't need
Say he disrespected with the lack of respect he's been shown by the UFC.
Well, I think he just sad because he lost. I had to realize what you were saying first, so I tried to fight for your answer, but see, I think you sound like you just mad because you lost a little bit, you in your feelings. So come on out your feelings and get back in the gym and try to win your next one if you fight again.
Right. But some more UFC news. Damian Maia, he's expected to fight the winner of the Tyron Woodley and Stephen Thompson fight. They're fighting at UFC 205.
That's coming up, right?
Yeah. Well, we still have we just had 202 UFC 202, I think. With Dan Henderson and Bisping. They just fought last Saturday.
Yeah.
And Bisping won that. So this UFC 205, he's expected to fight the winner of that. He said, well, as long as it's a title match, he will fight the winner of that. So whoever wins that Tyron Woodley and Stephen Thompson is gonna be a good fight. I'm ordering the UFC 205 to give you some more fights to let you know I'm ordering UFC 205. The main card, you got 3 title fights. You got Tyron Woodley, like I said, Stephen Thompson. You got Eddie Alvarez, Conor McGregor. You got Chris Weidman and Yo Romeo. Man, you got Tim Kennedy versus Rashard Evans. You got Frankie Edgar and Jeremy Stevens. You got Misha Tate. Man, it don't get no better, man. In those last 3 fights with Frankie Edgar, Misha Tate, and Tim Kennedy and Rashard Evans, those are the undercard fights. Those aren't even on the main card.
That's even better, though.
Right. So it's gonna be a good one. So I'm spending my money on that. Some local news out of Montgomery. Crampton Bowl is to be hosting the Montgomery Kickoff Classic August 26, 2017. Jacksonville State will host UT Chattanooga. It will be aired on ESPN. A time hasn't been released. I'm pretty sure they're going to release that closer to the day. Yeah, so Jacksonville State will be the home team for the first 2 years. It's a 3-year agreement. So they will be, the 2 years, they will be hosting the game. Right. They're the home team. Then that last year, I guess, whoever makes it will be the home team. So that's good news. That's going to bring a lot of new fans to Montgomery. It's going to bring a lot of money into Montgomery. So that is good. It will help build on to, I like the new, have you seen the Alabama State Stadium since they built it? Have you been there yet?
New parts? Well,
yeah, the new stadium.
Yeah, so then I added on. Yeah,
so they add some good stuff. They got at Crampton Bowl. They got the complex at the top. If you haven't been up there to see that, so they host. They do travel volleyball up there, basketball up there. They do. They have a what is it? Horseshoe.
Yeah, the horseshoe thing.
Yeah, they host that there. So they have a lot of stuff going on up there. So it's pretty good. Right now, we're gonna get into my guy AJ. He sent in a interview. He called in an interview today. He's gonna talk some Troy football. He's a student at Troy. He's he's in with the team. I think he's working to be a student coach. You know what I'm saying?
Student coach.
Yeah, the guys that wears the suits at the games, you see him with the suits on. He's one of them right now. So he's very close to the team. He has a lot of information to give, a lot of knowledge to give. So I know we have some Troy fans. I have a lot of Troy alumni on my timeline and Twitter feed on Facebook and Twitter. So I'm gonna please them today. We're going to get into some Troy football. I know, shout out to Sandra Varner. She's a big Troy fan. So we're going to get into that right now. So
what's going on, guys? This is AJ Johnson calling from Troy University. I'm a freshman athletic training major. I'm going to give you guys a couple stats on Troy football. Currently, the team is 4-1. That one loss came to Clemson in week 2 of the season. Let me go ahead and give you guys a couple of information about the games and what's happened in the past. In week 1, we played Austin Peay. We beat them 57-17. In week 2, we played Clemson. We lost that game 30-24. The following week, we played Southern Miss. We won 37-31. The next week, we played New Mexico State. We won that game 52-6. And then 2 weeks ago we played Idaho and we won that game 34-13. We had a bye week last week and now this is our homecoming week and we're playing against the 1-4 Georgia State. I think that's the game that we should come out on top of. Troy is excelling on defense and doing really good on offense. The rest of the schedule has us playing South Alabama next Thursday at South Alabama. We have UMass at home, App State at home, Arkansas State on the road, Texas State on the road, and Georgia Southern. Looking at the standings in the Sun Belt, we're the only team that has 2 wins in the conference, as well as in a conference that has App State, Arkansas State, Georgia Southern, all these great teams that are good. As for the conference champion, I think Troy's probably going to come out on top with this. Our defense is pretty superior compared to the rest of the Sun Belt teams. Our offense is pretty good. We have a lot of good receivers, and we're pretty deep at running back. Couple stats on our defense. We're first in the country in interceptions. We're 5th in red zone defense. We're 3rd in forced turnovers. And also our defensive back, Bryce Brown, he's tied for 1st in the country with interceptions. And on offense, a couple stats on them is Jordan Chun, he is in the top 10 in rushing yards in the country. And that's pretty good compared to all the SEC running backs, the Pac-12, the ACC, I mean, he registers pretty good with those guys. As for a bowl game, ESPN projects that Troy is going to be playing in the Raycom Media Camellia Bowl at Creighton Bowl in Montgomery. I think that's going to be real good for Troy. We haven't been to a bowl game in a couple years, and I think that's going to be real good for our program. And our program is growing. I mean, Coach Brown, he's done a phenomenal job at recruiting great athletes over here. Our football team is doing a really good job. Currently, there's works in to have a brand new facility that's going to be built in our end zone of our football field, and that's going to be able to compete with some of the SEC schools in terms of what it's going to have in it. It's going to have a new weight room, a couple of athletic facility things, and it's going to look real nice. And to conclude, I guess I'll talk a little bit about myself. I'm AJ. I graduated from Wetumpka High School in 2016, which was last year. I played football and track throughout my 4 years there. I majored in athletic training. Probably one of my goals is that I kind of want to come back after graduation and coach at Wetumpka in any shape, form, or fashion. I kind of want to help with football. I think I know the talent at Wetumpka pretty good, and I think I know how to win with those guys. Thanks, Marcus, for having me in, man. Go.
Okay, that was like I said, that was AJ. That was a great interview he sent in. I want to say appreciate that, man, and we're gonna get back into the show. We're gonna come back in. We're gonna talk. Some awards was given out. You know, Mika Fitzpatrick, he was selected as the Jim Thorpe Award Player of the Week. You know, he won the SEC Defensive Player of the Week also this week. So he's racking up some awards,
Right.
some season awards. While we're talking about Players of the Week, so I want to say happy birthday to my guy Kevin Lacey.
Yeah, what's up, Kevin? Happy birthday, boy.
Right now we're gonna talk about the situation. I know you saw the video about Jermichael Winston, the defensive lineman from Arkansas
holding down Jalen Hurts.
Right. How you feel about that?
I mean, it's unnecessary. Really. I mean, what are you proving by holding this guy's neck now? I mean, that's really as a personal foul. I mean, the ref didn't see it. It wasn't called or anything. But I mean, if you that frustrated, you got to hold this guy's neck down because you frustrated that you're losing. I mean, you got to have more class than that. Do what you got to do, make a play, and get back on the other side of the ball and try to do it again. Don't stoop to that type of level. That's how fights start.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That makes you have a bad name. You don't want to do that.
Yeah, like you said, man, that tells your character, man. That tells what type of person you are. That tells your upbringing. That reflects on your parents. That reflects on your high school coaches. That reflects on, you know what I'm saying? That reflects on a lot of people with that's linked to you, you know? So it's classless. And on the other hand, I think that something like that, a lineman or a running back, receiver, somebody out there should have been over there. See that and handle that. You got to protect your quarterback.
Right, you got to protect your quarterback.
You got to protect your quarterback. Nothing like that can happen. I know when we was in school, nothing like that would happen to the quarterback.
You'll be
somebody
should crazy folks on my team. So
you got to get out there. You got to protect your quarterback too. On the other hand, but that shouldn't happen. You shouldn't have to be looking for something like that to happen. But it happens. You have some
dirty players in the game.
Yeah. You have some of my.
You have some that are real aggressive. They will let you know where they stand.
Right.
They're coming at you. But at the same time, it's a game. I understand you want to win, but win in class and play with class.
Right.
That's what takes you farther than what you're doing.
Win with class and lose with class. That's how you do it. But. I just wanted to touch on that. I've been seeing that video surface. A lot of people have been reposting it,
talking about it.
Yeah. So I just wanted to touch on it. Another subject that I wanted to touch on is why everybody think that the ACC and the Big Ten is better than the SEC.
There's no way possible that the ACC and the Big Ten are better than the SEC. The reason being, in my opinion, that the SEC is one of the hardest hitting conferences.
Well, they said the SEC West. Put it like that. SEC West.
That's even worse. How you? Okay. Give me a reason why would you? No, you ain't gotta give me. I need somebody
Well,
from
I'm
that
gonna
side.
give you the team. They say the teams that make the ACC better is Clemson. You know, they got Louisville. They got Florida State. Who else in the ACC at the top? Nobody else, is it?
No.
No, ain't nobody else. Okay, then you know the Big Ten has 4 teams in the top 4 now. They have Ohio State, Michigan, Wisconsin, and
Washington,
Nebraska.
Nebraska.
So, you know, Washington Pac-12. So, you know, SEC got Texas A&M, Alabama, Auburn, Ole Miss, LSU.
No, man. Listen.
You know, Auburn struggling this year. LSU struggling this year. Texas A&M and Alabama holding it down.
How long has it been since those teams have been
Right, that's what I'm saying.
In that ranking area in how many years?
That was my argument. You can't just
Off
say
of one
that,
year, you're going to go and say that you're better than the SEC West after how many years have this many teams been in the top 10?
Right.
You can't. That's not an argument. You can't say you better than any day. If you match them up on a good day, they will not beat the SEC West. I don't see not now one of them teams beating the SEC West on a good day when everybody's healthy.
Alabama's already proven they beat Clemson.
Right.
They beat Clemson without even sustaining. Probably only sustaining about two
drives, like
positive drives in the whole game. They beat Clemson. Auburn, you know, they proved that they can play with Florida State. They fell short to the pass, you know, the last minute pass across the middle. But they proved what was his name? Was it Dyer? Or Trey Mason won the championship, right? Against Oregon.
Mm-hmm. That was
whoever their running back was that year. If he would have just went down when he broke that run, that wouldn't have happened. They had the lead, you know, and you know, that wouldn't have happened. Okay. Ole Miss, they beat Florida State. LSU, you know, I think they beat. Well, no, they fell short to
Wisconsin.
Yeah, but they proved that they can play with them.
Right.
You know, Ohio State did beat Alabama that year. Michigan,
but that was the
and
only
you
team
can't
that
say
done.
nothing about Michigan. Nebraska, need to no.
On a good day, like I said, man, on a good day, neither one of those teams will beat a SEC
So
team.
say this. So do you think Texas A&M? Do you think Louisville beat Texas A&M?
On a good day, no. Because Texas A&M, I mean, they are a good team.
If they lined up this weekend, do you think?
Line up this weekend, if I'm having to put my money out there, then I would say Louisville will win. That's why I would say that. But give me a Texas A&M when Johnny Manziel was there.
No, I think this year they will beat Louisville. You just don't. You gotta. You gotta
be on a consistent basis.
You might don't follow Texas A&M. Man, Texas A&M. Do you know their receiving core? They won't put up enough points. And Texas A&M defense will stop Louisville a couple times to win the game. So I don't think they'll beat them. Florida State will not beat Alabama right now.
No, that's impossible.
Clemson proved they can beat Auburn, but Auburn played them tough. With coming into the season struggling, not knowing who their quarterback was, playing 3 quarterbacks.
3 quarterbacks.
You know,
trying to find himself.
Right. So how can you say that? I don't know. Man. It's just bias. biased people. You know,
when you see your team in the top 10 after so many years, yeah, you're going to get the big head all of a sudden. But look how many times Alabama has been in the top 10. Look how many times that LSU has been in the top 10. Look at the time. Look how many times that Texas A&M has been to Ole Miss, Mississippi State, Arkansas. And they ain't been in there forever. But look how they've been there more than these cats have.
Well, you can't say that about Ohio State.
Well, not Ohio State. Ohio State is Ohio State.
You can't say that about Michigan. Ohio State. You know, Wisconsin be in the ranks and get knocked off by the end of the season. You know how they do. You know, a lot of Big Ten people that I interact with on Facebook, they be like, Wisconsin is the LSU of the SEC. They can't get past Alabama, and Wisconsin can't get past Michigan and Ohio State. So, you know, Wisconsin and Ohio State play this weekend. I'm going to cover that game later this week. You know, get some stats rundowns, you know, my predictions. Right. Okay. Upset alerts. This week, we have who? Alabama, Tennessee. Ohio State, Wisconsin. And what's another
game of the week is North Carolina and who is North Carolina playing? I can't remember right now. I don't want to ponder too long, but North Carolina, I can't think of the team at the moment. That's the game of the week for this coming up football week. Yeah, on Saturday. Whoever North Carolina is playing.
Okay, we have top 25 games. We have Duke and Louisville, Clemson, NC State, Oklahoma and Kansas State, West Virginia, Texas Tech, Nebraska, Indiana, North Carolina, Miami, Florida State, Wake Forest, Baylor, Kansas, Alabama, Tennessee, Virginia Tech, Syracuse, Utah, Oregon State, Missouri, Florida, Tulsa, Houston, Ole Miss, Arkansas, Ohio State, Wisconsin. Yeah. My upsets I think gonna happen. I think is the chances. Not saying that they're gonna happen. Chances is Ole Miss, Arkansas. Reason I say that will be an upset, even though Ole Miss is number 12. Upset because we got Alabama, Tennessee. Alabama wins this game. Ole Miss and Alabama that game is really gonna be who's the king of the SEC.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So, with that being said, if Ole Miss loses this game, that game really doesn't matter.
Don't matter anyway.
You know what I'm saying? That game doesn't really matter. So, that's an upset alert for me. Ohio State, Wisconsin. Wisconsin coming in at 8. Ohio State number 2. I think Wisconsin might shock the world. You know, they played Michigan close.
Yeah,
Real close. You know, but Ohio State got JT Barrett. So, that's a big difference. So that one, then we got Alabama, Tennessee. Those are my 3 upset picks. Alabama is going to come in, first play, jet sweep. Get them off balance. At the beginning, I said I didn't understand why he kept running that play. But now I do. Because if you saw that Arkansas game, Arkansas depends on that inside linebackers to make most of their tackles.
Yeah, right.
And with that jet sweep option, it pulls them out the box. Fake the jet sweep, hand it off, you got the middle wide open. So I saw that. But we're going to jump into, like I said, like I told you earlier, Blake Barnett has found a home at Palomar Junior College. Like I told you on the other day, he will be eligible on a calendar year from the day he transferred. So that's like late September sometime, depends on when the paperwork was finalized. He must keep a GPA of a 2.5 and above, and have 12 hours per term at the junior college. So.
Well, more power to JT Barrett. I think I think
Blake Barrett.
I said what?
You said JT Barrett.
Oh man, my bad, man. But yeah, hope he finds a home when he decides to come back. I think he has a lot of teams interested in him.
Yeah, Notre Dame, Michigan, Oregon, Texas A&M are 4 teams that are interested. So big interest.
There's a lot of good interest to come back to SEC football or wherever home you decide to reside in. That's those 4 right there are some good teams to bring your career back up to where you wanted to be at to get you back out there in the open.
Yeah, but big ups to him, man. Hopefully he be successful wherever he lands. Right now he's at the junior college. Hopefully he's successful there, because his season will determine if these colleges still want him, because he really hasn't shown anything at Alabama.
No, besides he wanted to leave because he didn't get to start. But that's, you could have. A lot of take for instance, Blake Sims. Blake Sims at Alabama for how long before he got to start?
He was a senior.
You know what I'm saying? He waited till he was a senior. He didn't cry about it. He didn't do nothing. He waited his turn, and when he got his chance to shine, and he did what he had to do to prove that he was an Alabama quarterback. He changed the game.
Before we go, we got about 2 minutes left before we end the show. I wanted to get your outlook on that LSU and Florida situation with them not playing that game. What do you like I said, NC State played their game in drenching,
drenching.
It was, Miami and Florida State found a way to play their game. Who else was affected? North Carolina played.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, why couldn't Florida play that game? They offered them. They said LSU offered to have the game in LSU. I see, home field advantage. But they said they was going to accommodate them. Play the game. You should be able to win on the road. Play the game.
They didn't want to play.
Play the game.
Cop-out.
But,
cop-out.
LSU president talking about he want to push the SEC championship game back a week and play that game on December the 3rd instead of playing the SEC championship on December the 3rd. I don't think that's going to happen.
No, it's not going to happen.
Nick Saban's not going to like that. But before we go, I want to remind you, make sure you're going to like our social media pages at True Sports Talk Radio on Facebook, True Sports Talk on Twitter. You can like my personal page. Well, follow me on my personal page on Twitter at Marcus D. Johnson 4. You can tell them about all your social media where they can find you at.
Oh man, you can find me at Justice Denarian T on Facebook. I do be a part of the TST Radio Game Day fan page on Facebook as well. So you can always find me on there. I wanted to elaborate on something real quick. I am a WWE fan, and I just had to say this, man. If you are a WWE fan in this, Goldberg will be back on Monday Night Raw this coming up Monday, man. I am so happy to hear that. I really don't understand. Like, I have waited so long, and I started watching wrestling and everything, but I just wanted to say that before we run out of time. Goldberg will be back, and he will be accepting this match with Brock Lesnar. So it's about to be on in the WWE world, and I need some WWE Network so I can watch the pay-per-view. So shout out to Goldberg. Hey, I'm your number one fan. Hey, call me something. Do something.
All right. Okay, make sure y'all tune into that WWE Goldberg. He will be on Raw also coming up this week. But we have run out of time. I'm your host, Marcus Johnson. This is TST Radio.
And I'm your boy, Justin Smith.
And we're out.